In today's episode, we are going to be diving deep into different cryptocurrencies such as Zilliqa, Avalanche, and Uniswap. We are also going to be looking at the gold markets as well as the S&P 500, and just basically what I really think about the whole entire cryptocurrency markets in general in relation to the traditional markets. So first of all, let me just dive deep into Zilliqa. Zilliqa is currently at that particular price. We are having a market cap of about 179 million US dollars with a 24-hour volume of about 17.2 million US dollars. So if we take a look at the Zilliqa price chart, this is what we are having. So I would definitely be very happy if we had to experience some upside momentum in order for us to come and sort of test this particular support turned into resistance. And to be honest with you, we are pretty close. We are pretty close to the $0.016 level, which really happens to be like a very significant support that has now turned into resistance. So due to the fact that we are obviously bumping our head into this particular price point, there's a high likelihood that we are obviously going to end up propelling and just visiting this upside, and most likely we're going to end up finding resistance right over here around $0.019 or even 2 cents if we are going to be privileged enough, depending on what BTC is going to end up doing. However, I'm just going to give you my bearish scenario in relation to the S&P 500. I think right now we are at a very monumental area, and yeah, just hang in there and we're going to have a discussion about it a little bit later. So far BTC has been doing very well. BTC is around 10,868, right? So obviously if it continues remaining stable and increasing in value, then obviously the altcoins are going to follow as well. So with regards to Zilliqa, we obviously experienced this massive recent low right over here in comparison to the uprise that we had, right? Obviously this is going to be some sort of good stable sort of support right over here in the short term, especially for all the people who really bought this particular low level. So if we're going to continue our bullish momentum in terms of the whole entire cryptocurrency market, right, then in retrospect this could have been like a very good buying area. But I just think that we are most likely going to continue to the downside. So obviously if you guys are trading this particular type of market, right, you have to understand that we are obviously going to continue our downwards momentum and eventually find some stable areas, some place below. So obviously we just recently started this new downtrend, and this is just a phase of the downtrend. So obviously I wouldn't really be very sure that the price is just going to continue going up. So there's obviously going to come a point where the downtrend is going to be like in full throttle, and it's obviously going to be like a better trading style in order for us to like set buying bids a little bit lower. So that is as far as Zilliqa is concerned. So obviously I am still bullish on Zilliqa, but you just have to understand this is how the markets work. So now moving on, I hope I really explained it properly, right? So what I'm trying to say in relation to Zilliqa, right, if this was enough stable support right over here, and the BTC market is going to continue going up, right, there's a higher chance of us going to about 2 cents. Right now we're about $0.016, and right over here we have like quite a lot of resistance, support turned into resistance. So I'm obviously looking forward to seeing the price of Zilliqa in the next few hours sort of wind up to the high and either get rejected right around 0.016 or get to penetrate through this area of a lot of resistance. So that's either going to end up doing that or it's going to end up doing that, depending on how BTC is going to be performing. So you just have to look out. So however, if you bought Zilliqa right around this area, right, then obviously you should be taking some profits off of the table, because clearly here we first of all got rejected in the first place, and right now we are trying to make our second attempt. Is our second attempt going to be fruitful? So that's obviously something that you have to look forward to. So if you bought this particular low right over here, right, and then you obviously discovered that this is some very good resistance, right, obviously getting to take your profits starting around this area is something which is very smart. So that's just something that you have to look into. Now moving over to Uniswap. Uniswap is around $4.46, and the market cap is around 636 million US dollars. It's amazing because a few weeks ago, I mean, just like barely 8 days ago, right, the market cap was around 200 million US dollars, and it's very amazing to see that the market cap is really increasing while the profits are not really increasing that much, just because we are having like a dilution of the market cap, because you know, the number of uni tokens that are being released to the general public are sort of increasing as well. So this is one of the reasons why we are going to experience a situation where the market cap is going to be increasing and you're barely going to be making any profit, because you know, the circulating supply is going to be forever increasing due to the fact that this is how the tokenomics have been designed. So that's just something that I wanted to put out there. So anyhow, moving over to the Uniswap price chart, right? Obviously we had an amazing few weeks or few days with regards to this particular cryptocurrency, and right now it really seems that a lot of people are actually selling a lot of uni tokens in comparison to the buying power. Like the selling power is coming to a threshold that is sort of outweighing the buying power, the buying pressure. So that is something that you have to look into. So the most profitable thing to do is get to sort of yield farm, or you know, providing liquidity for Uniswap and just getting paid in Uniswap and then selling off the uni token. So I think this is what a lot of people are doing. So all the people who are you know, mining Uniswap by providing liquidity on the Uniswap protocol, the uniswap.org decentralized exchange, these are the ones who are consistently getting paid in uni tokens, and they are offloading the uni tokens on the market. So this is one of the reasons why, if we take a look at the different oscillators, to be specific, the volume zone oscillator, right, we are seeing a very nice dramatic increase in the selling pressure. So obviously getting to buy around this particular area when we are oversold is obviously going to be very crucial. So obviously with regards to uni token, right, we still have some more downturn to endure. However, we have a possibility of sort of getting to test this particular resistance. Support now turned into resistance around the $4.71. However, if the price continues pumping with regards to BTC, right, we are obviously going to continue going to the upside, but I think it's much more likely for the price of uni token to drop down to about $4.15, because this is where the 38.2% fib level is with regards to the Fibonacci levels, and then from here we are most likely going to end up bouncing back. And since we had a lot of support here, right, we're obviously going to sort of find some sort of resistance around the $4.72-73 level. So that's obviously going to be something which might most likely play out in the next coming few hours. You have to remember that this is obviously my short-term analysis. I'm going to be giving you updates basically on the on a daily basis. So as you can see right over here, according to the VZO, right, the 1 hour seems to be running out of selling pressure, but there's always that particular chance where the price drops to the downside and then shoots up. So this is one of the reasons why I really strongly believe that the price of uni token is obviously going to come back down in the shortest period of time, right to the $4.16 level, and then just basically bounce off of this particular area, because this is the 38.2% fib level, which happens to be like one of those golden Fibonacci numbers. In case that sort of breaks, in case we just end up doing this and then dropping to the downside, then best believe we're obviously going to most likely go to about $3.24. That's my bearish scenario. However, if we end up just continuing to the upside right over here, looking at $4.74 is going to be like a very good area to like offload some profit and just take a little bit of profit. Then if we end up pumping to the upside, then just looking at these areas, $5.48, and most likely hold on, all the way up to about $5.58. It just depends on what the traditional markets are going to be doing. So those are definitely scenarios that might potentially play with regards to Uni token. So it really seems the downward momentum is really blatant on a lot of these alternative cryptocurrencies. Like everything is pointing towards the downside, for the most part, because we sort of had this amazing downside, and then now we're just beginning. We are forming higher lows and lower lows, especially on the smaller time frames. So if we take a look at this, right, boom, again we have another one there. Here we almost sort of started a new trend, but it just didn't last that long, and I think it was really invalidated. So in essence, we still ended up having higher lows and lower lows, and we are continuing this particular downtrend. So of course we're going to be having some bounce backs, but they're not really going to be lasting for a long period of time. And if you guys happen to be part of my YouTube channel, right, I obviously talked about the fact that October is going to be like a very monumental type of month, and we're just going to have shaky waters, and yeah, it's very important for us to be either in stable coins or be shorting the market. So obviously if we're going to be pumping in any of these tokens, BTC, whatever, I'm just going to be shorting the highs, because we have started a new trend, and this particular trend is going to the downside. So yeah, now moving over to Avalanche, we are at $4.34. The market cap is only $106 million with a 24-hour trading volume of about $15 million. So with this one, it's the same situation, just like any other cryptocurrency. It really looks like the downtrend is very blatant. We are forming lower highs and everything is just coming down. So in comparison to the traditional markets really, okay, I'll get back to the traditional markets a little bit later. So let me first of all finish this. So if we take a look at the previous areas, right, we obviously have produced some sort of higher low right over here, but I just don't really trust and believe in this particular higher low, because I really need us to have like much more evidence, and it really seems we are running out of momentum. We are running out of steam, and the buying pressure in comparison to the selling pressure is very there's a huge discrepancy, and there's a lot more selling pressure in comparison to the buying pressure. So if there's going to be a miracle right this week, then yeah, we're just going to be able to like revise and analyze everything. But today is a Monday. Today is the 28th of September 2020, and to be honest, we don't really have much evidence with regards to cryptocurrencies. We don't really have a lot of evidence with regards to where the traditional markets are going to be heading. So we are approaching the end of the month, and that monthly close is very important in comparison, or rather with reference to all the charts, traditional markets, cryptocurrency markets, and other stuff. And sometimes the monthly close could be lower than the monthly high, and that could really drag the prices to the downside. So this is one of the reasons why I am not very reluctant. I've got like tight stop losses, I've got tight stop losses, aggressive limit orders in comparison or in reference to me just getting to close my trades. So I've got tight stop losses, and I've got very dedicated selling orders if I am longing a particular market. So I'm just scalp trading because I do not want to have a situation where I'm going to be caught unaware. So this is one of the reasons why I'm just scalping. If I'm longing, I'm just closing the trades immediately. So if the price of AVAX is going to end up dropping, right, best believe we are going to be sort of finding support around the $4.16, which is the golden Fibonacci level. So this is one of the reasons why perhaps we kind of found support around this particular area. So this could be genuine support because this is the 38.2% fib level. So far we have had like a double bottom, that particular bottom and that particular bottom right over there. And if we are going to be stable in relation to BTC and the traditional markets, right, obviously the traditional markets are going to be closing in the next 45 minutes or so. So I expect like a mini pump with regards to AVAX. So going all the way above this particular area is going to be very, very good. It's going to be like a very good selling area around $4.69 all the way up to about $5.41. So this particular area is going to be like a very good area to offload bag and just be in stable coins. So this is going to be an area where I'm going to be taking profit, and in case we're going to go all the way up to about $5.41, then I'm just definitely going to be very happy with this particular trade. So it just depends on how the markets are going to be going, but so far I'm not very happy with what I'm seeing. Everything is really, really terrible right now. So yeah, that's just my little update, and I'm going to be keeping you guys updated with what's happening. Now let's move over to something that I have been waiting for. So anyway, before we jump into the traditional markets, let's just look at the cryptocurrency markets in general. So obviously Bitcoin 10,868, Ethereum 363, XRP 24 cents, Polkadot $4.47, Chainlink is $10.60. So a lot of people were telling me that Chainlink wasn't going to come back to about below $12. So you see, never say never in cryptocurrencies. Anything can happen. Yeah, so Binance $27. So let's look at the best gainers in the past the past 1 week. So OMG grew by about 41%, Theta network 28% during this week. Thorchain around 27.4%. So these have been the best performers. Phantom is forever doing very well. So Wheeler, yeah, you picked a winner. You definitely picked a winner. So Phantom Chain and Thorchain are definitely one of those cryptocurrencies that I'm definitely looking at. And Theta network, these are obviously those coins that I'm going to be buying heavily whenever we have like a black swan event where the prices just end up crashing. So Theta network, Thorchain, Phantom, I'm just definitely going to be able to like buy these cryptocurrencies, including synthetics. So I'm looking at the coins that are performing very well, and I'm just observing and doing my market research. So whenever we have like a black swan event, I'm just going to have like a very good cryptocurrency portfolio with amazing cryptocurrencies that really perform very well regardless of the market situation. Bear market, bull market, at least these cryptocurrencies have been very consistent in terms of just being overall good performers regardless of what's happening. So anyhow, let's move over to the traditional markets, because this is where we have like a lot of amazing information. Now, from a grand scheme of things, right, we obviously reached the pinnacle of this particular move, right? So when we ended up crashing from this particular high around the 3,584 points, right? This was obviously like a very good crucial area because this is the golden Fibonacci level. This is the 61.8% Fib level, around 3,606%. And as you can see here, we obviously got rejected. We got rejected. All right. And we have begun a downtrend at this particular moment. Now, you have to understand that things might change in the next coming 2 weeks or so, but I really believe we are in the downtrend phase. So what I'm expecting us to, what I'm expecting the markets to do is obviously have a little bit of a breather, but it's not going to last that long because this particular area is an area full of resistance. Okay, so let me just indicate that as red. And due to the fact that we are coming to the month end, that's really obviously going to be affecting the price. Now, you have to understand that obviously this time around, the situation is a little bit unorthodox because the feds are printing, and your boy Donald Trump, he's got a lot of ego. He can do anything that is possible to just make it seem as if the markets or he is in control. But you have to understand that this particular level, the 3,361, is the 38.2% Fib level. So if you guys have been studying Fibonacci levels, right, these things usually move in tandem. Like for example, if we get rejected on the 61.8% Fib level like we did right over here, right, there's a high likelihood like once we bounce off of these other Fibonacci levels like the 23.6% Fib level, right, there's a high likelihood that once we get back to this golden Fibonacci level, right, we're also going to sort of get rejected. And due to the fact that the stock market is obviously going to be closing in the next coming few minutes, right, we're obviously going to be left with uncertainty due to the fact that we have to wait for Tuesday and Wednesday. We have to wait for 29th September and 30th September, including 31st September, to just have like a better understanding of where the markets might most likely going to end up going. So if we take a look at the smaller time frames, right, like the 4 hours, yeah, the 4 hour obviously gave us like a very good bullish scenario. Okay, because we had like a bullish crossover right there on the MACD, which is really making sense because we obviously ended up coming from the bottom around 3,216, and we ended up pumping towards this particular resistance right over here. So if we switch over to the 1 hourly, we are just banging our heads on the 38.2% Fib level. So mind you, this is the 38.2% Fib level, right, the one that we're seeing. So right now we are just banging our heads on this particular resistance. Are we going to end up breaking out of this particular resistance and just coming to test this particular area where we kind of got rejected of? Because a lot of people are going to be observing and just looking at this particular area, the 3,423, because this is where we sort of fell off of a clip, or this is where we fell off from. So obviously if we do that W pattern, this is most likely where we're going to end up, getting rejected. So that can obviously play out during the course of the next coming days. I don't know, like the next 3 days or something, provided we end up breaking this particular resistance right over here. However, due to the fact that we're not really going to have like a lot of action today, because the S&P is going to be closing pretty soon, I really believe that we're obviously going to be left in limbo and uncertainty. So this is one of the reasons why we're not really going to have like much action today with regards to the stock markets. However, during the night, obviously Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets might make their moves until the stock markets open tomorrow. So we still have that uncertainty period right now. We just have to like sit back, relax, and just observe. But right now, it really looks like we are not really making progress in terms of us getting to penetrate through this particular resistance. But I hear that the US is most likely going to be releasing the stimulus check. So if that happens, then, you know, if people are going to get the stimulus checks in the US, then probably that's going to be like a very good indicator for the stock markets to continue pumping. So if we zoom in here, right, we obviously reached as high as the 3,360 level right over here, and then we sort of kinda got rejected. So this is the smaller time frame, so it might not really be very significant, but these are very early telltale signs of what the markets might potentially do. So if we switch over to the MACD, right, we are running out of selling pressure, so that could potentially help us break this particular resistance. And if that happens, then well and good. Then we're obviously going to experience like some mini pumps with regards to BTC and the entire cryptocurrency market. So that is just something that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on. I'm looking forward to like seeing what is going to happen to this particular area. Are we going to be able to break the 3,361 level? If we do, then that is going to be very bullish in the short term, short to mid term for BTC and alternative cryptocurrencies. In relation to the gold markets, right, we obviously experienced like a very good upward momentum today because we sort of broke this particular resistance around 1,862. By the way, we are looking at gold spot to US dollar level. So if that happens, well, then we're going to most likely going to enjoy like a very good steady increase, and that is very, very good for the entire cryptocurrency markets as well, because there has been like a very good direct correlation between BTC and gold in the past few weeks, and if gold is doing very well, then BTC is most likely going to continue doing very well. However, we are close to the cliff right over here. If anything happens and we end up just coming back down to this particular level and just breaking this sort of support, then that's going to be very, very bad. So it just depends. This is one of the reasons why we just have to keep an eye on what is going to be happening. But you just have to remember that this particular area is an area full of resistance. Okay, there's quite a lot of resistance right over here, and we can also say that this particular area where the wicks on the 4-hour closed right over here, there's a lot of resistance here. So this is one of the reasons. If we switch over to the 1 hourly, right, we are sort of finding some resistance on this particular area. You see, yeah. So if we end up penetrating through it, there's a high chance that we're going to end up going to about 1,903, and then just keep on stalling right over here, and then either get rejected or just continue propelling to the upside. So this is one of the reasons why the next 3 days are going to be very monumental for the traditional markets and cryptocurrency markets right now. So right now I'm very, very safe, and I'm just trying to play it very safe because I do not want to end up not having any money, any reserves in my bank account or my stablecoin account with regards to trading cryptocurrency. So I'm very, very careful right now because I do not want to be caught unaware like what happened in March. In March, I was really caught unaware. So yeah, I'm just trying not to repeat that particular mistake again. So that's all I had. I'm obviously going to be talking to you tomorrow. And yeah, we are just going to be observing the markets and just anticipating what we are supposed to be doing, especially with regards to having like very huge amounts of profit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you've got any other coins that you really want me to take a look at specifically, then let me know, and we're definitely going to talk about it. So thank you, take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.